I've noticed in the past that bull markets will all often have repeating patterns. I'm, I'm pretty much convinced that gold has started another bull market, and it appears that the cup and handle pattern is going to be a repeating pattern during this bull market. So you can see the 6-year basing phase ended with this really difficult um, cup base, rounded bottoming pattern here. And then the handle, again, these are very frustrating. They last a lot longer than people expect. Traders get frustrated, they give up, and then right when the breakout occurs, um, they've gotten frustrated and they don't have any mental capital left, and then they miss the rally. And the rallies out of these kind of basing patterns tend to be pretty powerful. So we're maybe getting something a little similar here, although it's much better defined in the mining stocks. Before I look at the miners, though, I want to take a little bit longer term look at gold. Um, you can see, here's that cup and handle pattern. The explosive move out of the handle comes up to test this resistance zone here in the, well, let's call it 1560 to 1520-ish zone. We get a pullback. Again, very frustrating, lasted much longer than what traders were anticipating. That knocked a bunch of people off, got frustrated here at the bottom, and then they missed this initial move that breaks out through this, or breaks through this resistance zone here, and we get our first test of 1600, and now we're pulling back. Um, Gold closed at about it looks like 1555 today, but I'm going to say anything in this 1520-ish to 1560-ish zone right in here is would be, in my opinion, just a normal pullback as price breaks through this resistance. So now let me move on to the miners. All right, so this is the junior miners, GDXJ. And again, you can see that same familiar cup and handle pattern in progress. Got this rounded bottom, kind of atypical for a correction into an intermediate cycle low. They usually tend to be rather um, sharp and deep pullbacks into an intermediate cycle low. This was anything but. It formed that rounded bottoming pattern, uh, tested the previous intermediate cycle top, and now we're forming the handle of this basing pattern. And again, it's wearing traders out. They're getting frustrated. They what they wanted was a quick pullback and then off to the races, and it's not playing out like that. We're getting this sideways back and forth churn, and you can see right here, this is kind of typical. Nothing follows through. So as soon as we get overbought, then immediately the market reverses and it goes back down. As soon as it gets oversold, then we get a bounce. So nobody's making any money. Bulls aren't making any money. Bears aren't making any money. There's no follow through in either direction, and that's kind of typical of what we would see during these handle patterns. And they tend to last longer than what most people um, anticipate, and so they get frustrated. And then about the time that everybody gives up, that's when the breakout will occur. And like I said, these things tend to produce a very strong trending move when the breakout does occur. In my last couple videos, I noted that I was waiting for a breakout, and you almost have to do that when you're in this sideways consolidation pattern, because you really don't know where the exact bottom is going to come, which rally is going to be the one to break out to the upside and start the strong trend, or whether this is just going to be another fake out, and as soon as the market's overbought, then back down it goes. So it's pretty hard to try and um, pick an entry in here and then hope that you've got the exact bottom and that the next rally is going to prove to be the breakout. Um, there's really no way to tell. You almost just have to wait for the breakout. And then once it does break out, then, um, you know, don't forget the pattern that produces the breakout. This is a very strong basing pattern. And once we do break out, let me shrink this chart just a little bit. All right. So for my purposes, I'm going to use this trend line here as my indicator that the breakout has occurred and the next rally has begun. And I'll note that this back and forth churn, it again, it frustrates everybody to where they become conditioned to take profits quickly. So that then when the breakout does occur, most people um, have become conditioned to sell quickly and take whatever little profit they can get, and uh, and then that, of course, is the wrong strategy once the breakout occurs, because this typically produces a very strong trending move, just like the breakout of that handle pattern did last summer. So for now, like I've said in my last two videos, I'm just kind of setting and waiting. Once we get a breakout, then I'm going to be prepared to buy immediately and hold on, um, anticipating that an early overbought level will just continue to get more and more overbought, as this should produce a very strong trending move once we're finally done with this sideways churn. So while many traders don't have the emotional control to survive this sideways consolidation, they give up. In actuality, this is a very strong basing pattern, and when the breakout does occur, it should produce a very strong trending move, and I would anticipate a move of anywhere from 30 to 60 or 70% in GDXJ here once the breakout is confirmed.